Hi, do you want to do something a little extra special for your dad this Father's Day? Then perhaps the best gift you could give him is to get him into trail running. Now in this video, I'll go through 3 tips as to why he should be taking up trail running and the top 10 gifts that you could consider getting him for this year. My name's Ray Whitby and welcome to Aspiring Runners. Well, the top 3 reasons that he should be considering getting into trail running, and this is where he might need a little encouragement. Reason 1. Well, it is proven that those that live in the countryside do live about 12% longer than those in urban environments. So the more time that your dad could spend in the countryside will improve his chances of longevity. Now, he may not live forever, but having those few extra years can go a long way. Reason number 2, it can reduce stress. Running in the countryside can lower the physical stress as well as the mental stress. And decreasing anxieties leads to reason number 3, which is that it can also help lower injuries, especially running injuries. Running on different terrains, especially softer terrains, can be absolutely magical for the body, especially if he is running on concrete. So the top 10 gifts that we're looking at, these are all coming from personal recommendations. I've tried a whole load of different items over the years, and based on my own analysis, I certainly found that these are the ones that I found the most useful for trail running. And I get no commission from any of the companies. This is purely a personal recommendation. The only thing I would say as a slight plug is if you're interested in purchasing these gifts, have a look at the affiliate links down below, click on those. Maybe a small percentage would come back to me, helping me in my running endeavours for this channel. So without further ado, the top 10 gifts that you could get your father for trail running this year. In 10th place, we have got Utterly Smooth Moisturizing Cream. As funny as it may sound, buying moisturizing cream for dads, actually this product is absolutely fantastic for runners because, as the advertising goes, it's utterly smooth. It's the persistent moisturizing cream that you need when out performing all sorts of physical activity, but especially running. So the kind of things you need to look at are stopping any rashes building up, to stop any rubbing sensations that will then develop into all sorts of complications later on. Now this stuff, it's easy to apply, but like any moisturizing cream, it is a bit messy, so you need to make sure your hands are thoroughly washed before you handle anything else. But once it's on, it lasts a long time. It'll certainly get you through any trail marathons you may aspire to, or even ultra running distances. It also, as a cream, it itself lasts a long time. It's got a long shelf life. I've got a pot, been around for 10 years, still going strong. Does that make me sound a bit quirky? Maybe. But as I say, this stuff is also very useful in all sorts of other sports activities, not just running, but also, dare I say it, cycling. So that brings us on to 9th place. And in 9th place we have the M-Power Flame 2 Bluetooth headphones. Now there are huge numbers of varieties of headphones that you could use for running. And I've tried a lot of them. I prefer the wrap around the ear type to keep it nice and secure against my lobes. And with this particular set, like most others, they do come with variable size earplugs, so you can get that tight fit. What I love about these is that they fit around the head, giving the security that they won't just fall out and I'll end up losing them. The Bluetooth connection has been absolutely great, never dropped a signal. It interacts well with my smartphone, been able to control music, okay, in a limited functionality, but it still works. And also the battery itself has lasted for weeks and weeks, with many runs in between. So it's a very faithful, hard-working system. Has gone through copious amounts of running, including very hot and sweaty conditions, but also torrential downpours. And these things have lasted certainly a lot longer than other pairs that I've tried. In 8th place, we are looking at the Decula foldable water bottle, at least for the Brits. and across Europe. But for America, we'll be looking at the Valorgo collapsible water bottle. Fortunately, there wasn't the same make available in the States, but actually looking at the Amazon reviews for the Valorgo actually seems a lot better. Now, when out running on the trails, having a collapsible water bottle is an absolute must. And these systems both will fold up into a much smaller unit after you've depleted its contents. They're inobtrusive, and they can slip into a pocket or a running belt. I think I know what you call them in the States, but I won't mention it. A bit of a taboo word in the UK. But these systems are absolutely great. They provide a no-mess drinking system. An absolute must when out for running. You don't want to end up with your isotonic drink all over yourself and sticky fingers. Absolute horrible mess. So having something that is soft, pliable, conforms to the body, going into running pouches. They're lightweight. They're fairly easy to drink from. It takes a bit of practice, of course, but an absolute must when out running on the trails. One thing I will say about most of these systems that I've tried is that if you ever try to bend them when they're half full, you may want a cycling puncture patch, because they'll develop a little leak. You'll end up with a very wet pocket, and then also trying to convince your running buddies that you could actually hold on for your toilet stop. So that brings us up to number 7 in the list. The Stride Foot Pod. This is an attempt at a power meter that uses close approximations rather than direct measurements of the power generated through running. And these systems are absolutely fantastic, certainly for the technophiles amongst the runners, but also actually in helping your running performance development. And I found that these measurements of power, or the approximation of power, to be quite a useful data set over using your running pace, especially on the trails. You can imagine out trail running, the gradients will change quite rapidly, and trying to maintain the same pace going uphill as on the flats as downhill, it's impossible. And you'll find that just going by exertion alone, you're trying to understand what your energy levels are doing. Again, very, very difficult. So having something that approximates your power output, keeping that level throughout your entire run, you'll naturally slow down and when you're going uphill, and then it'll help you going through the flats, get your speed back up. Now the Stride Foot Pod, beautiful device, small, inobtrusive, clips onto the foot very securely, never lost one. But with the Foot Pod, the battery, absolutely great as well, seems to last for weeks and weeks and weeks, with running 4 or 5 times a week, and some of those being quite long runs. It's waterproof as well. Not that I've tried going swimming with it or even into the bath, but in deep puddles, torrential rain, never had a problem with this. Also never had a problem with the connectivity issues either. The Foot Pod, I found actually for calculating pace, even when you do want to use it, particularly on flat surfaces, the Foot Pod seems a lot more accurate than having a GPS watch. So I prefer to have the Foot Pod combined with the watch to give myself the best possible chance of accurate data in order to improve my overall running performance. Now that takes us on to item number 6. Jelly Bellies, and in particular the Energizing Sport version. These apparently are carefully selected to give you that little bit of extra boost when out running. Now I've used these on a trail marathon last year, and when you're close to exhaustion, you're depleted of energy, and you feel like you can't go on, just having a couple of those, pop them in your mouth, brilliant. Just gives you exactly what you need to keep yourself going right towards the end. And they're absolutely fantastic to share out with some running friends, or you can make new friends by offering them around. So as I say, critical for certainly long distance and trail running. They're small, lightweight, you can secrete them around your body, you can carry several packs, which is absolutely wonderful. The only thing I'd say as a negative is the fact that they are not produced near Europe. So I think we ship them in from America, so therefore we have to pay a lot more for them, which is a real shame. So in America, you get a lot more bang for your buck. Jelly Bellies, it's a great gift idea. Maybe a bit whimsical, but actually a very serious gift for the trail runner. Brings us off to gift number 5. And we are looking at the Centurion running belt. It's the naked running band, and I think in America they call it a something pack. But this, like any running band, running belt, actually it's quite a premium item to own. I don't think it's available in the States, but I've got to say will be very much worth the weight of an international order. These things are absolutely incredible, just instantly separates themselves above standard type running belt. For this particular one, they've got 3 deep pockets that are forming around the waist. They're elasticated, of course, 4-way stretch mesh, of course, but these things I've found have very easy access whilst running, and they take a huge amount of items in terms of number as well as size. So you can put your larger smartphones in there. They've got a little hook for keys. You can take those foldable water bottles that we spoke about, but also bananas, the Jelly Bellies. They just keep adding to them. But assuming that they're not completely overloaded, actually these things are rock solid. They stay put, they don't rub around the waist. They hug the body beautifully. As I say, they are inobtrusive. They won't affect your running at all, but they'll be a massive aid and a massive boost whilst you're out on your long trail runs. The Centurion running band, a great item as part of your equipment, part of your toolkit when you're out trail running. So that leads us on to place number 4. And in the 4th position, we have running shoes. Now, of course, we have to have running shoes feature somewhere in the top 10 gifts for trail running, especially if your father hasn't taken up running yet or has spent far too much time pounding the pavements, pounding those sidewalks. For 4th place, of course, in terms of running shoes for trails, there is a plethora of makes that you could go for, and a lot of it can come down to personal choice, personal preference, buying a pair, trying them out, just seeing how you get on with them. So I would always advocate checking the returns policy so that certainly if you're buying them for a gift, they can be tried around the house, and if they're not quite right, send them back and try a different pair, different size, or a different make and model. My personal recommendation is the Hoka One Speed Goats. Now, I've been running in the version 3s. They're on me right now, not that you'll be able to see, but they're coming towards the end of their life cycle in terms of the sales, the retail of them. And of course, earlier this year, we had the Speed Goat 4s and the 4 GTX, which has the weatherproofing. Now, some of the bonuses of these, they got that nice cushioned sole. They seem quite big in terms of volume, but they're actually extremely lightweight. I've used these, the version 3s at least, in all sorts of conditions over the trail running that I've done over the last couple of years, and these are bulletproof. They still look pristine once they've been scrubbed up and got some of the mud off the tread and the sides. It's an absolutely wonderful gift to think about for your dad. In particular, available in a variety of colours too, which may also appeal to the gift giver or the recipient of them. One thing I would say about the Speed Goats in particular, they have had a history of wearing quite narrow, but I do believe that the Speed Goat 4s have a wide version. So it's just a case of if you have a standard width of your foot, they may actually feel a little bit too narrow. So it's just about getting the right sizes. These things, as I say, going through all sorts of different conditions, rock solid, very confident when you're putting your foot down, even under great speed, that you will not roll in them, you will not fall in them. At least this is me. Of course, you've got to run responsibly. Don't take it as said that suddenly you're indestructible with any run under any conditions. So that's gift number 4. And in 3rd place, we have the Garmin heart rate monitor. An invaluable gift to get any runner, but especially a trail runner, because what you got to do is monitor your performance throughout, because you're going to potentially be far away from others, far away from your next rescue point. So knowing what's happening inside the body whilst you're running is critically important to evaluate. So this, apart from anything else, is a matter of health and safety. You've got to have one. The Garmin heart rate monitor obviously will pair very nicely with Garmin watches, and this particular type of strap, actually the monitors are available for a number of different disciplines, so you can combine them not just with running but also with swimming and cycling as well. So the Garmin heart rate monitor, very comfortable to have on the body, non-slip, which is really important. I've never known it to rub. Maybe I got lucky, maybe I just got that kind of skin. The monitor itself, never lost a connection, certainly when paired with the Garmin watch I have. Secure connection, feeding real-time data straight to the watch. It's absolutely a no-brainer for having this item as part of your training gear. But I have found it so useful for trail running, just that reassurance that I'm not overdoing it, that my heart is within the right kind of zones I need it to be on certain types of gradients, especially out on those trails. The battery for this seems to have last, let's try and think now, I think it's about a year that since I changed my last battery, been out a lot, been connected up a lot, and it's still going strong. So that brings us on to second place. And in second place we have the watch. Not just any watch, this is a bit of a luxury item. It is the Garmin Forerunner 945. The watch is an incredible piece of machinery. And actually, like any GPS watch, it is a vital, important part of your running gear. You absolutely must get one if you're going to take running seriously. But for the 945, the extra features that you get with it are invaluable for trail running, especially the navigation option. When you've downloaded the map of the route that you're going to do, it'll take you straight through it without losing its signal. Of course, it does depend on just how dense the canopy may be. But the watch itself, brilliant. And if you're just heading out, the functionality of the watch will be able to help you get back, like a breadcrumb trail, get you back going the exact route that you ran out to return on. So it's a wonderful extra features for the peace of mind of the individual runner or the loved ones giving them this gift. But for the Garmin watch, there are of course others, the Centurion in particular, but the Garmin, I've just found it has the pedigree and never had a problem with this one. The 945 in particular, the GPS connectivity is almost instant as soon as you step outside, that is, and the battery is just phenomenal. It lasts and lasts, and it'll easily get you through a trail marathon of about 4 to 5 hours, and therefore you also could be looking at ultra marathons as well, reported to go up to 24 hours on the battery life. Absolutely invaluable piece of kit to have. Now, even as a standalone piece of technology for running, the Garmin is without doubt a phenomenal piece of kit to have, the 945 in particular. But when you start pairing it up with the heart rate monitor, with the Stride foot pod, the system then gives you the complete set of data that you'll need for any occasion to monitor any data that you absolutely need to know for your running performance. So well worth considering investing in the Garmin 945. Maybe a huge luxury, but well worth it. So that leaves us to what's in first place. And in first place, we have big build-up. I hope you're not disappointed. It is what every father wants to get for birthday, for Christmas, and Father's Day: trail running socks. They are supremely important for trail running, and for any kind of running. And the ones that I would recommend are the Roque Accelerate Anti-Blister running socks. So these things come with a lifetime guarantee, made from 100% recycled material, designed in every way, shape and form to fit your foot comfortably so that you can run without developing sore spots, hot spots and blisters. I've tried them out in all sorts of conditions. They're supremely comfortable to wear, and after hammering short trails, long trails, tricky marathons and every kind of condition in between for weather, these types of socks, again, just hands down, possibly one of the best running gifts. And I say that with a straight face. It really is. The socks I've put through all sorts of conditions. As I say, the going through deep, muddy, rainy, boggy puddles, getting absolutely drenched, and you have to keep on running. There's no turning back. Having these types of socks are wonderful, because even though you may feel a tiny bit squelchy, it doesn't affect your running performance, and you soon forget about the noise coming from your feet. And with a lifetime guarantee, being able to return them and sorting them out, what more could you ask for? A truly affordable, wonderful, thoughtful gift for your dad to get him into trail running this year. And of course, with this one, I've got a variety of colours too.
So let's give it up once again for this year's winner.
So there you have it, my top 10 gift recommendations for Father's Day this year, trying to get him into trail running. Now it could be one of these or a combination of these, crikey, even all of these gifts, and just watch the smile on your father's face. Hopefully not at the comedy that he thinks it may be, but actually because he is excited as well to get into trail running. Now be warned, trail running is so addictive and you may not see him for a while, but then maybe you need to join him. Now whatever gift that you go for, it'd be great to know what you think should have been in this top 10 list. And maybe after Father's Day, tell me, what exactly did you go for? What was the response? Was it worthwhile? How long will he keep going for? Maybe the additional bonus gift you could get him is the URL to the Aspiring Runners channel. So leave comments down below. Would love to hear back from you, reflecting on your thoughts for running gifts for Father's Day, particularly when it comes to trail running. Well, I hope you found this useful. If you did, please smash that like button. It won't cost you anything, but helps this channel tremendously. And please do click on subscribe. We're producing all sorts of videos related to running, especially for the beginner runners, but also encouraging those getting up to some very reasonable standards as well. Would love for you to click that bell notification so that you will be informed as soon as these videos are uploaded. Well, thanks for joining me on this run, and I'll catch you next time on Aspiring Runners. Take care.